I don't know if you guys can see the river down through the trees there. We're running along the river up here in Punxsy. Never actually bought much up this direction. A little bit of stuff here and there. But I do believe I've relapsed on buying shit. So I'll show you guys when I get home or I stop somewhere. So boys and girls, for your viewing pleasure today, I actually went to buy two 38-inch snowblowers for $100. And they're both flavors of 38-inch blowers. You have the left hand, I call them left and right hand blowers, but left and right hand chute controls. The right hand is all cable actuated, which is down in there, and the left hand has a chain box, which is what is sticking up there is a chain and sprocket set up in there that and that's what rotates the chute. Both of them are in, I would say, okay condition. This one has a bent auger on it on the one side, and you can tell somebody tried fixing it. They welded a rib in there, and you know, it is what it is. Also has the extensions on it, so that's something different. I also have the drive shaft for this blower, so that makes that nice. I can run it. I forgot I was thinking he would have put the tailgate down. And this blower here is decent. The guy said he actually used this one. They've been sitting about 3 years, he figured. I didn't even check to see if they rolled over. I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't really care. Price was right. And what do we have here? This is a early 70s 810 Gravely. Now it has been repowered with a 12 horsepower K301. Originally would have had a K241, which, I mean, for what I gave for this tractor, I'm not concerned about that. The bummer about that is when they switched it, the serial number would have been on the adapter plate. And seeing how that's gone, there's no real good way to nail down the exact year of this, but I'm going to work through that and see if I can figure it out realistically. Early tractor, early 800 designations, we'll say. You have the notches in the running board like the 400s have for the parking brake. You have the straight up and down shifter, which they only did till I think 76, because my 76 816 has the or is that a 75, whichever year it is, but it has the shifter that is bent and going backwards. Like my 818 and 817 have the later style handles that kind of have like half a bend in them, and they're like towards the front. And I like those a lot better, but it is what it is. This is very similar to my 74 812, and it also has keyed clutches. I think you guys can see the keyway down there. They're not splined, they are keyed. So I gave $250 for this tractor, and he told me it ran 3 years ago. Again, not a concern to me. I can make it run. I also have a 10 horsepower motor off of Gravely sitting in the shop, so I can make it really original, or as original as it can be. Added light. This still had the original block off plate in it, but what I will probably do is I will probably put a headlight bezel in this, and I'll probably wire it up for lights, because why not? And maybe instead of hacking the dash, I can find a 4-position switch where the one position is headlights. You know, I may do that. Well, there's somebody liking stuff on Facebook. Yeah, that's other than that, that's all I know. I mean, frame looks decent. It's got the usual rot where the battery acid would be. Manual lift, seats a little rough. But it all runs, yeah. It all rolls, rolled up on. I used my winch to pull it up on the trailer, and then it promptly wrapped over the drum between the motor. So I have to work on that. But for the moment, I'm going to get the 816 fired up here. We'll get these blowers lifted off. I was originally going to work on the blowers, but I guess I'm going to kick the 424 out, push this 810 in, and that's going to give me something to tinker with out here. That's what I wanted. Look forward to some more L's getting bought here, and I guess my drought of buying is over. Drought of not buying. I don't know. It just hit me. I had money all of a sudden, and other people don't. So catch you boys in the shop. She'll do it. You gotta make sure you got enough lift though. I know it runs out of lift pretty quick. Nice. Very nice. Alright guys, I got the 810 pulled in the shop here. Doing an initial assessment. I'm trying to figure out roughly what year this was made. Good thing you can look at, and I don't know if the camera can see it or not, but see that has a 72. Looks like 7, maybe 18 of 72. And that's usually when the transmissions were cast. But there's also a 2 below it, so I don't know if that means like second run that day or what. I've never really looked into the transmission castings. too awful much. But I mean, that narrows it down to like 72 to probably 74 like I see. And I'm going to look around online a little bit and check out some posts on it. But anyhow, in my initial assessment here, I've seen some things. We have the obvious. This is a 12 horsepower motor. So we know that's been changed. Somebody's had the motor off, been in this far. There's the obvious clear silicone sticking out of the transmission. So that tells me somebody has been into this transmission. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That just tells me they were too cheap to use a gasket, which is probably a bad thing. But maybe the clutch was replaced. It's possible. What else am I seeing here? Keyed clutches. The clutch lining looks like they're actually original, because see, there's still paint on the clutch itself right here. The clutch linings, and they are both like that, forward and reverse. So I don't know, it's possible they could be changed, but these keyed clutches only went to somewhere around 74, I believe. I'm looking at the brake linkage here, and that just kind of looks cobbled to me, but I've never really looked at my 74s, so I'll have to go over and look at that. And I mentioned the straight shifter and stuff. I know the exhaust is homemade. The throttle and choke cable, well, I've checked the throttle cable. I haven't checked the choke cable. Yep, it's working. I can hear it back there. I know you guys can't, but that seems to work. We have the Afro-engineered headlight up here, which I'll fix that, but I'll keep that light. That's a good light. We'll put that on something. Probably walk behind. Seat. Somebody been hillbilly in there too, which it is what it is. You know, I do stuff like this too. They took the cigarette lighter out and put a little toggle switch in there. Is that a 2-position switch? Oh no, that's the whole thing moving. Okay. A little toggle switch in there, I believe, for that light. Which is good. They didn't hack any extra holes in the dash. Which is why I said about the 4-position key switch. So I can do that. But everything else seems free and it seems to move. The motor turns over by hand. I haven't spun it with a starter. Haven't cleaned the points. All I did was check the oil. It's got oil. It's about halfway, and it's black. It's what you'd expect out of a small engine that got used. And the motor, I'm not. Here's the deal with this tractor, and the thing that's kind of irking me right now. Not having that serial number on the adapter plate here where it should be when this motor was changed just throws me into a whole, like, it's almost like a parts tractor to me at this point. But it's an 810. I always wanted an 810. I actually have a motor right there for it's not necessarily for an 810, but like a, what the heck would be the 8000 series in 81. And I've had that motor running, and I came from a, we'll just call it a good parts guy around here. It was actually sitting there. It has the adapter plate on it. I don't think there's a serial number. I think it's a lot later motor than this tractor, but what can you do? When it ain't original, it ain't original. So yeah, I kind of want to nail down a year, because it still has the ribbed hood, which they use these on the 400 series. And I'm going to look at my 74 812, and I'm going to look at my 816. Just see when they stopped that. The straight PTO handle, I think I've said that like 12 times. Battery and stuff down in here. It still has the steering. It still has the box style steering on it, I believe. I don't have a light hand here. I'd go lay underneath of it and show you guys. I'm going to look at that off camera. Missing the grip off the lift. I don't believe there was a lift rod on it, but that is what it is. I was debating about... Gonna work with me? There we go. I was debating about putting a snowblower on this tractor, but the thing I was realizing, it doesn't have the stub shaft in the axle. So I'd have to swipe the stub shaft and the brackets, which I think the only two tractors I have that'll never run a front PTO that have the brackets on are the 818, which it has the front weight rack, so I could not steal that from there, and the 8199 KT over there, I believe, has the stub shaft and the brackets, but I can't remember if I've already stole the brackets off of that or not. Can't remember. I may have swiped the brackets off of those and put on the 16G, but like I said, I don't remember. So I'm going to do that because why not? Snowblow with an 810? Sure. We could compare the 810 to the 424 if I get that going. So, without further ado, I guess I'm going to do what I really don't want to do. Open the gas tank, because I swear I can smell old gas. I can't even get the lid off. Okay, so we're not going to do it on camera, but hold on. Okay, I cracked the seal off camera, and it smells like I don't know, tarnish and turpentine from like the 1980s. But the gas is only 3 years old, so there we go. If I die, somebody buy my tractors and redistribute them. Oh, this is bad. I can smell it. The cap has to come off to pull the hood off. Wow. Oh, that shit is... It looks red? You guys can see the reflection, but that, my friends, is some nasty stuff. We're just gonna pretend we didn't see that. So, as far as my assessment goes, I mean, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't run, as long as it's got compression and the rod ain't broke. I didn't really check for that, but I just kind of... Yep, I think I heard compression there. Yep. Well, I think I hear it moving. Let me put my jump box on here and just see if it'll spin over. Okay, I had this jump box on charge. I haven't used this jump box in a while, so... Okay. Come on, kick out, stir. Alright, let's try going on an actual starter bolt. Hold on. Ooh, yeah, there we go. So, got enough goo between the engine and transmission. That's not good ground. Okay, so it turns over and it's moving air. So it's not blowing up. So, at least clean the points up. Maybe give her a shot of carb cleaner and just see what it'll do. This gas is 3 years old, and if it was ethanol gas, this carburetor is going to be nasty, and so is the gas tank and everything. But should be good enough to at least try it, and I should be able to run the coil off a 2-volt trickle turger, I think. I don't know. try anything once. See what happens. Alright, let's see if we got spark here. I got the 2 amp regular charger going. That looks like a big negatory to me. So, I'll go back to my original idea and clean the points. You know, it was worth it to try it. Ain't gonna hurt. Okay, clean the points. We should have spark now. Okay, so we got spark. Let's the boys think there with a little bit of petroleum and see what happens here. Yep. Way too much gas. Alright, see if it'll pop off and run for a second here. I should be at idle, hopefully. I ain't got enough battery power to crank it over now. Son of a beach. Alright. Well, I'm going to let everything charge and I'll come back out after dinner and try it. Alright, boys and girls. See if this thing will run for a second. I dumped some more gas in the carburetor's throat there. See what you'll do now. Nothing. Got good spark. Let me get a can of carb cleaner once, see if it'll hit on that. I don't know, turn the choke off, maybe it's flooded. I don't know. Nope. Just won't burn that gas. Is that carburetor flooding over? Alright, I'm going to have to get a better battery. Because it only turned over for like 3 seconds and it's dead already. Alright, BRB.